Hello everyone, what is up? Welcome back. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day thus far. I hope you're keeping safe, taking care of yourself. As you can tell by the title, I wanted to do something fun today, so we're going to be focusing on when are you getting engaged? With that, tarot is a divination tool, it's an intuitive practice. Take what resonates, leave what does not resonate behind. There's nuance to every conversation. Group 1 with our little pink cauldron. Group 2 with our crescent moon. Group 3 with our love potion, and group 4 with our feminist witch. If you guys need a moment to meditate on which pile is calling your name, you guys are free to do that right now. And if you would like to pick more than one pile, you guys are always welcome to do so. With that, once you pick out your pile, you can check out the description box where I've left you timestamps for when your reading will start, and I will see everybody in their reading. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to When Are You Getting Engaged? We're going to start off with our zodiac dice. We have just Capricorn. So hello, Cap. Oh, Pisces, Sagittarius, Cancer, Leo, and Aquarius. I'm not sure if the Pisces roll made it onto camera, but it was over here, guys. It was on Pisces. Okay. With that being said, let's jump on into it. Can we get a message for group 1? When is the people of group 1 getting engaged? When are the people of group 1 getting engaged? We have the 6 of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the Page of Wands. If you guys hear creaking in the background, I'm sorry. My chair has become a wee bit creaky in recent weeks. Okay. So 6 of Pentacles, this is talking about somebody who essentially is really giving, somebody who has a deep desire to give, to help others. The King of Swords is usually referencing an individual who is really stoic, intelligent, and they have a tendency to make decisions that are more logical and not emotional. The Page of Wands is being really excited and optimistic about what is ahead or the new opportunities that you are experiencing. So when do I think you're getting engaged based on this? I think you're getting engaged during a time in your life where financially you're really stable, which makes sense, right? It makes sense to be getting engaged or getting married. Weddings are expensive. Moving in with somebody or getting a home with somebody, getting a place with somebody can be expensive. Honeymoons are expensive. Dresses are expensive. Flowers, wedding, right? Like, it's expensive. So it would make sense to me that you would be in a position where perhaps you can give a little bit more, or perhaps you have more financial, I guess the term I want to use is like laxity, where you don't have to worry too much about, again, like paying your bills or saving money or this or that. Like, you feel good financially. I also feel like you're going to be in a place where it makes sense to get married to this person. I think perhaps, right, it's not to say that the decision to get married is going to be completely based on logic, but I think it makes sense to marry this person, whether that is because they are well off financially, whether that's because they're emotionally mature, whether that's because you guys have been dating for a long time, but this feels like a logical next step, okay? And then the Page of Wands. So we're looking forward to this. I do believe that it's going to be a conversation that you and your future spouse are going to have, or you and your partner are going to have. So I almost feel like the engagement, it may come as a surprise, but it feels like it's a conversation that has been had and you both are excited and looking forward to the next chapter. So with that, let's continue. Can I get a little bit more? I feel like this flipped, but it did not. So we're going to just keep shuffling. Can I get a message for group? There we are. Yeah, so this is confirming what I was saying, you guys. It feels like there's a lack of financial stress. So financially, things are good, okay? That's what the Nine of Pentacles is saying. We're in a position of financial abundance. Can we please, we have the Hermit. I do feel like for a lot of you, okay, I want to be careful about how I word this because people get really touchy and sensitive about timelines and things like that. So I'm going to try to be careful, guys, but I do have to just, you know, deliver the message as it's coming forward. Based on the fact that we have the King of Swords and based on the fact that we have the Hermit, I believe that this is going to be taking place when you are in a mature state of mind, okay? Now, for some people, can that happen when you're 21? Sure. Who am I to say otherwise, right? But for most people, that is going to happen after the age of 25. I would assume, based on the fact that the King of Swords is here and the Hermit is here, that you are going to be in a very mature place in your life, emotionally, mentally, financially. To me, I would assume you're in your 30s or in your 40s when you are getting engaged. And again, this could happen earlier, you guys. This could happen way earlier. It just really does depend on your mental state and your emotional state, because the Hermit is representing somebody who has the ability to reflect on themselves. The Hermit is representing somebody who has the ability to take a step back and say, hey, like, what is my part, or how am I playing a role in the circumstances that I'm finding myself in, right? And oftentimes, not all the times, but oftentimes that's coming with age. That's coming with, you know, experience, life events. So can we please, we have the Queen of Wands. Again, it's not that I believe that younger people can't be emotionally mature or younger people can't look at things logically or be confident. Like, I think all these things are very, very possible. But when we are doing a timeline reading, we have to go with the most logical explanation, right? Or the most frequent, what does this mean? This means that you're confident when you get engaged. You are sure of yourself. You know who you are. That oftentimes, again, does come with age. The Queen of Wands, you guys, is also very self-aware, which is something that we usually see in individuals who are a little bit older. The Five of Cups. So immediately that makes me feel like we've already experienced a significant heartbreak in our life, or potentially like getting engaged previously and then ending that engagement, feeling sad and disappointed. And that's why I feel like the engagement that we're talking about, the person that you're going to marry, this feels very mature. This feels like we are both sure that this is what we want. We are both in a place financially, mentally, and emotionally to proceed with like getting married and combining our lives together. This doesn't feel like a quick, fast, frivolous decision. This was thought out. This was intentional. This was something that you both, again, had a strong vision on what you wanted or what you expected going into the relationship. And I do believe that a lot of this comes, like maturity and having the ability to reflect, a lot of this does just come with like experience. And the Five of Cups is representing a negative experience that has taken place, recognizing that we still have something to be grateful for, recognizing that there is still hope for us to find love and move forward. So again, I'm seeing that Five of Cups as like coming out of a really heavy or serious relationship, potentially even having a prior engagement and that ending, and then meeting somebody who is more aligned with you on a mental and emotional level, to the point where it like makes sense for you to get married. It makes sense for you to join your lives together. Okay. Yeah, this is a mutually symbiotic relationship. So this is beneficial and balanced. Both partners have the same feelings, ideals, values, and shared life goals. This comes with knowing yourself. This comes with becoming aware of who you are, what you want, what you need, right? So I do believe that you and this person are going to have a long-standing marriage based on the fact that this is something that, again, has been really thought out. You both are in a place of being mature and having the ability to prioritize things like your ideals, your values, and your life goals. We have Libra. So this is again talking about balance, consideration, fairness, and harmony. Oh, We have Pluto. This is again, to me, referencing a previous relationship that either you were in or your partner, your future fiance, was in, where perhaps there was intentions to get married, or perhaps there was an engagement. And in ending that and having this transformation, we then got another opportunity to find love. We then got another opportunity to find somebody who is a better match for us. When we have the 5th house of dating, this is passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. I think for some of you, it's very possible that the reason, again, logically, you're getting married because you're like, I want to start a family. I want to have kids. So in order for us to do that, I want to be married first. Or in order for me to feel comfortable doing that, I want to be married first. Obviously, that's not going to be the case for all of you. And that's so fair and fine. And like, you know, but that may be playing a role as to why you guys are pushing forward or wanting to move forward with the engagement and the marriage. With Mercury here, this is learn, think, network, and communicate. So again, Mercury comes through as wisdom, education, right? Communication. So I guess what I will say once again is I do believe that this is something that you are experiencing with age. If I were to put an age on it, you guys, because I keep saying this, if I were to put an age on it, it would be anywhere from 27, 28 to like we can go all the way to our 40s. Like that is the energy that I feel like is coming through here. It feels like you've lived some life prior to getting engaged to this individual. So can we please, we have a fiery climax. The energy is gaining momentum. A fiery climax approaches. One more. Confidence is showing up again. So I think that you're getting engaged to this person at a point in your relationship where, again, you both are very much on the same page of what you want, what you're expecting, your wants, your needs, your desires. So I think this is all really, really positive. I do believe that this isn't going to, like, I don't think you're going to be dating this person for years and years and years. I think that the intention on getting into this relationship is like, we want to build a life together. We plan on having a family together. I would say a reasonable amount of time to date this person would be anywhere between 2 to 3 years prior to you guys getting engaged. 4 years, maybe pushing it a little bit, but that wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. I think anything outside of that, I would question on whether or not this is the person that we are speaking about, just because both of you seem to be very much on the same page with what you want and where your life is going. Can I get a mess? Oh, sorry guys, I am sick. I don't feel sick enough to be like, oh, I'm not gonna film, but my throat is a little congested. I feel a little nasally, so I'm sorry. Choose wisely. Yeah, consider the long-term issues before you commit. We also have timeless elegance. You are always beautiful to someone who loves you. This is confident, real, and standards. So I'm sorry, I completely missed the weight, compromise, and trust. So with that showing up, you guys, I am reading that as essentially choosing wisely. Again, being in a position where you're like, I don't want to rush into marriage. I intend on my marriage being for the rest of my life. Like I intend on marrying one person. So I want to be really thorough with how it is that I choose a partner. I want to be really intentional with how I go about picking my partner in this life. So choosing wisely, this oftentimes takes time. Now, can you get lucky and meet the love of your life at 21 and you're both in a mature place and like happy and healthy? Of course, but odds are this is going to happen with time and timeless elegance as well. This is telling me once again that the intentions behind this connection is long-lasting love, which, you know, everyone who gets married, I do believe that is the intention, but I think that you and your future husband, wife, fiance, whatever it is that we're calling them in this reading, they also have this intention of like, I only want to get married once. So we are going out of our way to be really intentional with getting to know this person. We're being really intentional with our criteria when it comes to the person that we're going to marry. All right. We have on a snowy day at dawn. We're gonna pick one more and then I'll pull from, did anything flip or am I, hold on guys. Okay, I don't think anything flipped. So we're gonna just, can we get, okay. We have Do It and At Sunrise. When, give it time, it's in the works. When you have the power to create the timing by taking action, do it. Being here, I think is quite interesting because obviously that is also referencing you having the power to go take action and make this happen. Let's get one more card. When it's the right time to take action. So I am actually going to leave this here, group number 1, because I believe that this is a really positive thing. The fact that the cards are really pushing you to put yourself out there. If you're not dating, group 1, go date. If you don't know how to go date or you feel like you don't have any options, you're like, what do I do? Make a dating profile, please, for the love of God. If you don't want to go outside and interact with people and be social, please make a dating profile because the cards are telling you to go take action. Now, I want to say this, you guys, as always, when you are dating, whether you meet somebody in person or you meet somebody online, please do stay safe. Always send your location to a friend, a family member prior to going on a date, especially if you are a woman. You got to take care of yourself. You got to protect yourself. So with that being said, guys, I believe the time is now for you to go out and date and to find this person. I believe that after you do that, you will be getting engaged to this person within a reasonable amount of time. Again, 2 to 3 years feels like what I'm picking up on. It feels like a good amount of time to get to know someone, to really understand if you two are going to be compatible for the long term. I do feel like you will be at a little bit of a more mature state of mind or a more mature stage in your life. And I think that you both are going to be really clear about your intentions on moving forward with your future. So that is what I have for you guys. I do hope that this message was helpful, group number 1. I know we didn't get an exact like February or 4 years from now, but that is what we have. So thank you. I love you. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Okay. Bye. Hello, group 2. Welcome to your reading on when are you getting engaged. We have Virgo and Taurus. Hello, Virgo. Hello, Taurus. We have Gemini and Virgo. Aquarius and Sagittarius. I want to do one more. I usually don't roll this many times, but I feel the need to. Pisces and Cancer. Hello, hello everybody, Sun, Moon, Rising. If you are new here, the dice is extra. It's dessert. If your sign didn't pop up, that's completely okay. And as always, if you do want a personal reading, I restock those only on the 1st of every month. So can we please get a message? All right. I have the 7 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands, the Ace of Swords. So, okay. Oh, group number 2. I do think that the relationship, the person that you're going to marry, your future fiance, I'm feeling based on this, that this relationship is going to be a relationship that is very long-term prior to you guys getting engaged. Now, why do I feel that way? I feel that way because we have the 7 of Pentacles and we have the 10 of Wands. The 7 of Pentacles is referencing essentially working really hard in hopes that it will become beneficial for us later on, or working really hard, showing up every day, even if we're not getting the results that we necessarily want. This is intention, hard work, effort. The 10 of Wands is essentially talking about responsibility and carrying a large weight on your back. And the Ace of Swords is a breakthrough. So that's why, like, to me, guys, this is just giving the energy of you are dating this person for a significant period of time prior to getting engaged. Now, if you're the kind of person where you're like, I 100% will not date somebody for 6, 7, 8 years, like I want to be engaged or I want to know if we're getting married prior to that, I would suggest that you pick out a different pile. I know for me, right, if this was the reading that I was receiving, I probably would be like, oh, like I'm not that kind of person. Like I will just leave. I will quite literally just leave. So if that's you, this isn't your reading and that's okay. Let's go ahead and see what else we get. Yeah. So it feels like a long-standing relationship prior to getting engaged. And this is kind of similar energy, I feel like, to people in my life that I know, right? Where you're dating for a significant period of time, or you're in a relationship, maybe you're living together, maybe you have a family together. And perhaps for you, group 2, like prioritizing marriage or a wedding is just not necessarily something that is on the agenda immediately, or you're not in a rush to like run to the altar, right? Now, what I will say with this is if you're the kind of person where you don't like this, or you don't want this, or you wouldn't stay with somebody for a significant period of time without like having a set engagement or having a set date for your wedding, then I would suggest that you pick a different pile, because this is most likely not going to be your pile. But for those of you where you feel more comfortable being with somebody for a significant period of time, experiencing the highs and lows of life together prior to making that commitment, then this is most likely your reading. Can we please get a, yeah. So this is a lot of happiness, guys. I do see a lot of discourse online of people who like look at relationships like this and go, oh, like I would never want that. And I think that's completely fair and justified. However, this is a happy relationship, guys. This is a really happy relationship. We have the 9 of Cups. This person's going to feel like everything that you wished for. And, you know, I do feel like it takes that kind of person to be okay with waiting. It doesn't make sense, right, to wait 10 years to get engaged. I'm not saying that's how long it's going to take, but it doesn't make sense to wait 10 years to get engaged when like the person you're with isn't necessarily your dream person, or isn't necessarily somebody who is your best friend, or right, there's a lot of issues or tension or this or that. If that's the case, that's not worth waiting for, right? But it feels like this is a happy, healthy relationship based on the fact that we have the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups, which is having everything that you need emotionally and mentally. Perhaps this is a relationship where you guys meet really young and you both want to build your careers, or you both want to like have more stability before you plan a wedding. And I think that that's completely fair. So with that being said, we are going to go ahead and get some oracle cards for you guys. Yeah, ever after. This is a really happy relationship, guys. Like it feels like you guys will take a while to get engaged, get married. But once you do, it's like the ever after, the happily ever after, right? So having the fortitude to create a lasting love, this is long-term, all in, and invest. So you love this person and you are committed to this person regardless of the timeline. This person is your partner. This person is somebody you trust. This person is your family. Okay, and we have leap forward. So seizing the moment and let yourself be loved fully. This is momentum, speed, and progress. I am starting to believe, you guys, that this has a lot to do with financial stability, which, as I was saying in the last pile, like financial stability is obviously important because, you know, like to have a wedding, like that's expensive. Now, if you were wanting to just go and like make things legal, that makes sense and that is very affordable. But having a wedding, or having a wedding that feels like what you want, that can be really expensive. Or getting the ring that you really want. It could be a situation where like once you guys have the financial means or the stability to do so, then you seize the moment and move forward. So I think, when will they be getting engaged? I'm actually not sure that this deck makes much sense for this question. So I'm gonna move over here. Can we get a message for group number 2 on when they will be getting engaged? Radical change. So significant changes will be happening at the time in which you and your partner get engaged. Again, that could be a significant increase of financial stability. That could be like finally moving into your home. That could be, right, a multitude of things, but it does feel like there is significant change going on in your life outside of the relationship when you guys get engaged. It also, again, this is confirming my hypothesis of the fact that I think that it's going to be very much determined on your stability in the relationship on a financial level. So this is persistent, patient, which again is telling us that this will be a long-standing relationship prior to getting engaged, and practicality. So again, it may be that you both early on are like, oh, I know I'm going to marry you one day, or I want to marry you one day. But perhaps you both are on the same page with like, right now we can't afford it, or right now it doesn't make sense for us to spend thousands of dollars on a ring, thousands of dollars on a like that just doesn't make sense. I would rather, again, buy a home with you or travel with you or, right, like build the life that we have. That's more important to me than a piece of paper or having a ring on my finger, right? So I want to be clear, guys, it's not that I think that these conversations aren't happening, right? It doesn't feel like a relationship where it's like one person wants to get married and the other person doesn't, or the other person, right? It feels like you both are on the same page with, we've talked about it. We both know that we want this. This is our intention to move forward with this, but we want to just be in a place where it feels like fun to plan, or where it feels like a joyful time and not something that's adding stress to our lives or our relationship. Okay. Can I get, this could even be for some of you, like after you finish your schooling, where you guys choose to like move forward and make the commitment. But yes, your commitment is being tested again. To me, that is representing a significant period of time passing prior. Nothing is yet set in stone. So a mutable moon. So this is very much, to me, reading as like the circumstances around you play a big factor in the timeline, right? So let's say at whatever point you and this person meet, right? You get together. Let's say 2 years after that, you guys fall into financial security, or it makes sense on a practical level for you guys to get engaged. I think that would change the outcome of this. Can I, reconciliation, the return of a past soulmate. That's also very possible, you guys, right? Maybe this feels like a significant period of time is passing because perhaps you know this person, or perhaps you knew this person at one point in your life and you guys lost contact, or there was some type of separation and then we came back together to revisit the relationship and then we got engaged. That's not going to be the case for all of you. This past life soulmate could also be literally talking about a past life. So do keep that in mind. With that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and move straight forward to our actual timeline now. When is group 2 getting engaged? In December? In January? So this is colder months. December, January time, colder months. When is group 2 getting engaged? It's worth the time. The timing is much further in the future. Okay, I do kind of want to get one more from this deck. Can I please get one more within a year? I'm so sorry, guys. My freaking throat. So I don't think it's happening within a year. I think it will happen within a year in which, again, we have this financial stability, or within a year in which we have this reconciliation. But I do think that external factors will be falling into place prior to you guys getting engaged. And based on everything that I'm seeing here, right, it's worth the time. It's much further in the future. And everything else that showed up in the reading is telling me that you guys are getting engaged after being with this person, after really knowing this person. It feels like you're live. It almost feels like you were already married prior to you guys getting married. That's how it's reading to me. Like on an emotional, mental level, you two are looking at each other as husband and wife, or spouse and spouse, whatever. So, I'm so sorry, guys. Again, my throat is being so annoying right now. But that is all I have for you guys. Group number 2. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to do this reading for you. I hope it was helpful. I'm sending you love, and that is all I got. So, bye. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your guys' reading. We have Taurus and Libra. Hello, Taurus. Hello, Libra. Sagittarius and Libra. Virgo, and Pisces. Libra again. There we are. Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and get started with our shuffle. As always, if you guys do want a personal reading, you can check that out on the 1st of every month. That's when I restock. All right. The Emperor. Okay, so if you are interested in men specifically, this is going to be a person who really goes out of their way. There's going to be a man that really goes out of his way to make it abundantly clear that his intentions are to marry you. He is going to plan this entire thing. I'm not picking up on a timeline or how quickly this is going to be happening within the relationship, but he is going to take charge of this. I don't think this is going to be something where you have to push him to do this, encourage him to do this. He wants to do this and is going to make a plan. The Page of Swords, asking questions. This may be a part of the criteria when it comes to you guys dating, is like, when do you want to get married? How soon do you want to get married? What do you see your life looking like? Or what would your ideal life look like in 5 years, right? I feel like you two are going to be on the same page with your overall goals, just because we have this Page of Swords, which is talking about being inquisitive and asking questions. So the topic of marriage, proposing, is going to come up early in the relationship. The Queen of Pentacles. This is representing balance between personal life and work. We have the Three of Cups. So this is going out, having fun with friends and family. It's very possible that your future spouse is going to plan your proposal with your friends and family. It's very possible that your friends and family could be there when they propose. Okay. This is like a lighthearted, fun energy though. So to me, when especially with the Fool here, lighthearted, fun energy feels like a person who, like, the relationship is still fun and new and things are still really exciting. So what I take from the Three of Pentacles, especially with the Fool here, is that you guys will be getting engaged pretty quickly within the relationship, right? So depending on when you meet this person, I feel like you guys are going to be very swift with getting engaged, getting married, starting your lives together. So the Queen of Cups is talking about being really loving and nurturing, being really soft and feminine. The Fool card is talking about essentially stepping into the unknown, a new beginning, a new chapter. So I wouldn't be surprised for you guys, group number 3, if you met this person and in under a year you guys were engaged, or by a year you guys were engaged. That wouldn't be surprising to me at all, because that's what this energy feels like. Okay. Okay. With that, let's go ahead and get some more. Can we please get a message for group number 3 on when they are getting engaged? Your hard work is paying off. So it's really possible for you guys that you, again, have spent a lot of time looking for the right person, or you spent a lot of time putting yourself out there. So when you do meet this person, or when they meet you, it feels abundantly clear that you guys are a match, that you are the right people for each other. I also just feel in general that your future spouse, especially again if he's a man, has Capricorn energy, has very much the energy of like maturity and I know what I want and there's no need for me to waste time because I have a very clear understanding of who I am and what I want and what my intentions are. I do feel like sometimes, right, when it takes longer, there's various reasons, right? Nuance this conversation. But when you've been with somebody for a while and you're still on the fence on whether or not you want to marry them or whether or not you want to spend the rest of your life with them, oftentimes that's coming from a place of being a little, right, just having a little bit of decisive energy. So this person is very decisive. This person knows what they want. So I do feel like that is why this is moving rather quickly. Communication is key. Yep. Make it clear, guys. Make it clear. If you are resonating with this and you're like, oh, this is exactly what I want. I want to meet somebody and either get engaged in under a year or get engaged within a year and a half, then right? I think it's important that you communicate these things to the people, the individuals that you are dating, because for a lot of people hearing that, I know for me, if I went on a date tomorrow and a man was like, I want to get engaged in under a year, I'd be like, literally lose my number, never speak to me again, because you couldn't convince me to do that. But right, for you guys, that might be something that's fun and exciting and something that you want. And a lot of people, when they know, right? I just know for me personally, I'm not that person. I'm very trigger shy. So with something like this, I think it's important that you communicate with your partner, like, this is what I want, or this is what I would prefer. And then here we are with a win-win outcome as forecast. Yeah, this is beautiful. This really does, to me, just feel like two people who, again, know what they want, know who they are, and are not afraid to leap into the unknown or take that risk of like getting engaged or getting married to somebody that they met a year ago, or they met 6 months ago, 9 months ago. Burning bright. Stoke passion to keep the flame of love alive. This is intimacy, sparks, and warmth. This does feel like in a very young relationship to me, or an early on relationship. So I wouldn't be surprised if you guys got married at an earlier stage in your life, or at a younger phase in your life, or if you got married very early on in a relationship. Again, if you are past the age of 25 into your 30s or into your 40s and 50s, it wouldn't be surprising to me if you meet this person and then very quickly get engaged to them. Okay. One more. Keep pedaling, move ahead despite any obstacles that may arise. This is venture, explore, and forge. And then tenderness, having a gentle spirit and being able to care deeply. This is real deal and good match. Yeah. So I did want to say this, but this has nothing to do with the question at hand, so I didn't say anything, guys. But we have the Queen of Cups here, and we have the Queen of Pentacles, and then we have the Emperor. In my opinion, the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles make a lot of sense with somebody like the Emperor. Why? The Queen of Cups is very soft, loving, gentle, very feminine. And same thing with the Queen of Pentacles. She's very loving and nurturing. She's also ambitious and has her own like life and her own career and things she wants to focus on. But she has a really big part of her that wants to nurture, love, be tender, soft. And the Emperor is a really strong, masculine leadership energy. And oftentimes, right, these two energies connect. Oftentimes, masculinity is attracted to femininity, regardless in which form that comes in. This tends to just balance things out. I know that's not always the case, you guys, but that is oftentimes the case. So that was interesting to me that showed up. And then we have, again, a good match showing up. So I wanted to just go ahead and point that out. With all of that being said, let's go ahead and get an astrology card for you guys. Okay. Cancer, again, nurture, comfort, protection. When are they getting engaged? The third house of communication. So again, I do think it's important for you to communicate with your partners, with the people that you're dating, when you envision yourself getting engaged, or how early on in a relationship you want to know like where this is going, right? So this is early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. So everybody, with that being said, we are going to grab one more before we get our timeline. Yeah, divine masculine. There's a lot of divine masculine, divine feminine energy here, a lot of yin and yang energy here. So ultimately, again, in my opinion, this just seems like two people who got really lucky and met each other, fell in love, and immediately knew like, this is the person I'm going to marry. This is the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. So that's fantastic. I love that for you guys. With that, let's jump straight on into our timeline. Can I get a message? October. When are they getting engaged? When is group 3 getting engaged? On a cloudy day in October. When is group 3? Time will bring a surprise. We have December. One more. Okay, wait. I don't think you're gonna have to wait very long, you guys. I don't think you're gonna have to wait very long. Once you meet this person, you're gonna know, okay? Group 3, that is how you will know. You will understand why people go, oh, when you know, you know. You will understand that phrase. When you meet this person, you guys are going to have these conversations. You're going to be on the same page about this. And I believe for the vast majority of you that this engagement, this proposal is going to be taking place between the months of October and December. You will be surprised. It will feel like very much out of the blue, but it's going to be quite early on within this relationship. So keep that in mind as well, group number 3. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so very much for allowing me to do this reading for you. I do hope it was helpful. Congratulations. I'm excited for you guys. And that is all I've got. So bye. Hello to my final group, group number 4. Let's go ahead and jump straight on into it. When is group 4? Oh, hold on. Not me trying to skip the dice. Okay. Ooh, we have Cancer and Pisces. Hello, Cancer. Hello, Pisces. We have Capricorn and Taurus. Aquarius and Leo. Hello, hello, everybody. Sun, Moon, Rising. As always, if you want a personal reading, you guys, I only restock those on the 1st of every month. So keep that in mind. Can I please get a message for my beautiful group 4? Okay, we have the 2 of Swords. We have Temperance. Queen of Swords. Okay. So the 2 of Swords is a card that talks about sitting on the fence, not knowing which direction we want to go. So if you were attracted to this pile, what I'm assuming is a lot of you perhaps are going to get into this relationship with the person you're going to marry, and you don't necessarily have a preference either way. Now, if you're saying like, no, Cenus, I have a preference, I want to get married, guess what, honey? You picked the wrong pile. So please check out a different pile, maybe even a different reading, because this very much to me seems like somebody who's sitting on the fence, somebody who doesn't really know if they want to get married, or somebody who's open to it, but it's not like a hard line. Temperance also to me is confirming that. Why? Because Temperance is a card that is talking about essentially being in a position where our focus is going to be readjusted. So it's not that I think you're not getting engaged, group 4. I want to be clear. You are getting engaged, but it feels like you're starting the relationship off on like, I don't know if I need that or if I want that. I do think that will change over time. Now, the Queen of Swords is talking about independence and wanting to stand on your own. So I don't want to say that this is a power struggle, but I think a lot of you who were perhaps attracted to group 4, and I think I should keep this in mind when picking out your crystal, because I haven't picked out your crystal yet, but I feel like a lot of you who were attracted to this pile, there's perhaps this sense of awareness, right? Of like what marriage has meant or what marriage has represented in the past, what marriage has represented in previous times, and wanting to resist against that, which is something that I have felt very strongly throughout my life, of just wanting to resist. There's so many women, especially, right, if you're a woman, this is especially applying to you. There has been literally, for the first time, I feel like in history, I want to say the last, let's say since the 60s, it is socially, and not even, right? In the 60s, it wasn't really socially acceptable to not get married or to be like, I don't want to get married. I feel like as early as the 90s even, it wasn't really socially acceptable to be like, I don't want to get married or I don't believe in marriage. So this is really the first time in history where women have been allowed to just say, hey, I don't want to get married or I don't believe in marriage. Without being ostracized or without it having severe social or financial consequences, right? So for some of you, that may be where this is coming from, where it's like, I enjoy the fact that like this isn't a path that I have to take, or I enjoy the fact that this isn't something that I need to do. And for the rest of you, it could just very much be that you're like, I love my life and I don't want to compromise the lifestyle that I am currently living. If somebody fits into it, great. But if not, like, I don't want to lose what I have. I don't want to have to adjust what I have or adjust the way that I'm living. And then I get a message for group 4. Yeah. So I think your future fiance is really going to do a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to changing your mind on marriage and pushing you towards like wanting that commitment or being open to the idea of engagement, being open to the idea of marriage. We have the 5 of Wands, which is talking about competition and passion. So again, to me, I am reading this as there's something about your future fiance, your future spouse that is standing out so significantly. They are setting themselves apart from the rest on such a significant level that you feel, your mind, your heart, your soul feels at ease with legally tying yourself to this person, okay? Okay, can we please... We have the Hierophant. So this is talking about tradition and doing things in a traditional manner. And we have the Empress. This is the respect of the feminine energy. This is essentially going to be the energy of receiving. This is creative energy. This is beauty, money, abundance. So I think in order for you to get married, group number 4, you are going to have to meet the unicorn. You're going to have to meet the most spectacular, amazing human being that you've ever met. And I do, again, believe that you are going to meet that person. And I believe because we have this Hierophant here, it feels like you are then taking a more traditional path, not because the institution of marriage is something that you're necessarily like, I need this, but because of this person and because of your love for this person, your respect for this person, your desire to continue a relationship with this person. Can we please get a message? Yeah, we have Neptune. This is dreams and transcend. Neptune adds a little bit of haziness to a reading. And then we have Saturn. So you will be a bit older, group number 4. This is happening after a mature age or after you have reached a more mature age. Definitely, you guys, this is like after the age of 28 at the bare minimum. That is the bare minimum after the age of 28. So if you are over the age of 28 and you have not gotten engaged yet, guess what? You're on the right path. You're fine. Everything's good. This feels restricted. And again, for a lot of you who were drawn to this pile, marriage may feel a little bit restricting, or there may be this like idea of, I don't want to be held back, or I don't want everything that I worked for to belong to somebody else partially, right? So it feels restricted, experience struggle, learn hard work, and patience. Patience is also, again, to me, representing a waiting period. And then we have Scorpio. Yeah, our intentions, our ideas around marriage will change, but only through this person, only through this connection. So this is intensity, exposing, purging, and renewing. Can I please get a message for group 4? Conclusions are within reach. The full moon eclipse. Eclipses represent change, guys. Eclipses represent evolution, things transforming, things evolving. And then we have luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius. Again, to me, that is representing getting really lucky with the person that you're going to marry. Scorpio, again, time to release negativity. Some of you guys may have experienced a significant amount of heartbreak. Some of you guys perhaps have even been married in the past and you're like, I would never get married again, or I would never like put myself through that again. Again, I do think all of this is going to change via meeting this person. I think this person is the catalyst to changing your mind. So with that, can we get a little bit more? Distance, yeah. Challenges that create space between you. Long haul, out of touch. This is love stories. So communicating and saying what needs to be said. This is tough love and truth talk. And then we have sweet home. This is making a good life, making a good home life or settling down. This is literally marriage and lasting love. So again, guys, ultimately, do I think it's going to take a while? Yes. But I believe that once you meet this person, your reservations around marriage are you're going to feel at ease with this person. And the idea of marriage and the idea of having this beautiful life together. And I don't necessarily think you're gonna have to date this person for an extraordinary amount of time, but I also don't see you getting engaged to this person or getting married to this person super quick either. It feels, I'm gonna give you such a, you know what, actually, I was gonna give you a timeline. I'm going to actually just allow the cards to do that because I feel like the timeline feels so vast. It doesn't feel like a pinpoint, like, oh, you're getting married super soon after dating, or you're getting married or you're getting engaged 10 years after dating, or 5 months. Like, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like a pretty expansive timeline. So we'll just let the cards paint that for us. And then we have a spiritual mission. This connection supports energy healing on Gaia and in higher realms. I do believe that this connection, this love, this person is really healing. And I think that that is playing a big role as to why you're transforming the way that you view marriage, or transforming the way that you view relationships as a whole. So with that, we are going, oops, hold on guys, I dropped 2 of the timeline cards on the floor. Okay, can we please, within 6 months, in February, on a rainy day at midnight, sorry if you guys hear my stomach growling, I have not eaten today. Next year looks promising, next spring, August. So again, the timeline seems pretty vast to me, you guys. For some of you, it could be 6 months after meeting this person. For others of you, it could be a year after meeting this person, 2 years, 3, 4. I feel like the timeline feels very vast. I think the true answer is you are going to be getting engaged when you meet this person, when you meet the person that makes you change your mind, when you meet the person that brings peace and harmony and a sense of groundedness into your life, when you meet the person where you're not afraid of tying yourself to them, you're not afraid of committing to them, you feel at ease with this person. And I also feel like the timeline with that feels very open, right? It feels open to me. Like, you meet them and you're not stressed about like, oh my God, I met you, I'm in love. Like, when are we getting married? You just feel at ease. And again, that could be happening within 6 months of dating. That could be happening within 6 years of dating. But I feel like this person is the magic sauce to put you at ease or to make you feel comfortable moving forward with the legal aspect of this. So with that, everybody, that is what I have for you. Group number 4. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to do this reading for you. I do hope it was helpful. I'm sending you guys so much love, and that is all I've got. So